Hey, what's going on, G-Ballers? Today I have an exciting new knife here to share with you coming in from Traditional Pocket Knives. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome to GBall Vision. Drop a comment down below and let me know what your EDC is for today. What I have here in my hand is going to be a brand spanking new release for Traditional Pocket Knives. At the time of filming this, these are not yet available. However, these will be available September 3rd, 2025 at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and that is going to be the Sugar Maple Jack, which is going to be a Traditional Pocket Knives exclusive. This is his own knife here. Now, there are going to be at least 4 spectacular looking versions on the release day. We have the beautiful crystallized titanium, of course. We have red saw cut bone. We have smooth blue bone. Both look very good. And then we have the original plain old stag, which also looks very good. It gives it a very traditional aesthetic opposed to the purple crystallized titanium here, which myself, I really like this. I actually haven't had a chance to check out any of the purple crystallized titanium. It is a newer material, and it's a newer material for being on production pocket knives, and it is some extremely good looking stuff. Now, who is the OEM behind the Sugar Maple Jack? We are going to be looking at QSP, and what does that mean to you? If you don't know, that is a very good thing if you are interested in a traditional slip joint knife, because they do a phenomenal job. We'll take a look at a few other TPK exclusive slip joints and a few QSP slip joints, just so you can get an idea of how good the quality of the slip joints are. We are going to be looking at a price tag of $120 for this knife, and not only that, there is going to be a discount code down in the description along with links to the Traditional Pocket Knives website, and that'll knock a few more dollars off this knife, which is already at a very good price point. 120 bucks. That is a very good spot to be in. There's not a ton of slip joints out there that are around that $100 price point, and even less that are any somewhat impressive, and the ones that are typically coming out of QSP. Now, the blade steel here is going to be 154 cm, and that's cool because it's a good price point for what we're getting, and QSP doesn't use a whole lot of 154 cm. They are notorious for 14C. So it's cool to see them doing some different things, or being willing to do some different things than they normally do. We have this kind of modified sheep's foot blade here. That's what I would call that anyway, a modified sheep's foot. You could get real silly and call it a drop point if you wanted to, but we'll call it a modified sheep's foot drop point here. Nice long pull to get that blade out, and as I said, the build quality and the fit and finish of these slip joints is going to be spectacular in my opinion. Although I'm no, traditional snob, but I do enjoy good slip joints, and these are going to hit that sweet spot. If you want a good quality slip joint, but you don't want to spend a ton of money to get your hands on one, this is definitely the road to take. Let's check centering while we're thinking about it, and it is on point. The pull, I'm not the best at gauging that, but it is very good. It's not overly strong, but it gives you a good, nice resistance from half to open, and same on the way down. You can get an idea of that spring by just kind of seeing what that blade will do. Yeah, that's very, very good. Exactly what we are going to want. And then we have a steel handle here and back spring. Everything looks very good. Nice and flush, nice and even. That is a lot of the trouble with various slip joint companies out there. You have very rough and not consistent fit and finish work. Now, materials may be a different story, but if you can't nail both, I'm not going to be, very interested. We are going to have the crystallized tie as that inlay. I like this look. It has almost like a traditional industrial look. That's kind of, that's what I'm thinking anyway. But very cool. Let's get a size on the sugar maple jack here. See what we're going to be looking at. We got 2 1/4 dead nose of cutting edge. We're going to call it 2 1/2 of total blade, and coming down there right at 6 inches. So I was trying to be courteous and wipe the blades off, and look at that. I cut right through the microfiber cloth into my finger. Anyway, what I'm going to do here for you is show you a comparison. I have 2 other traditional pocket knife slip joints. They are his designs. We have the Ohio River Jack, which was the original phenomenal slip joint. And we have the Lake Champlain Barlow down here on the bottom. And a little bit different styles, each one of them, which is good to see. And there's also at least one other, if not 2 others, that I just haven't had the pleasure of checking out yet. But you're going to have the option to go over there and check out several different styles of slip joints from TPK himself, but he's also going to have a plethora of other brands, QSP, and I believe he has Finch and other companies that do a traditional aesthetic. So if you like that aesthetic but you want a locking knife, also going to have that type of stuff there as well. And I'll bring out 2 others here, which are going to be QSP branded slip joints. On the top, we have the sheep's foot hedgehog, which is actually a traditional pocket knives exclusive. I don't know if these are available. I'll pop it up on the screen if they are, but there are sheep's foot versions. I just don't know about this exact one. And then we have the new spear point hedgehog here, and there's a lot of different iterations that you can pick up in both of these actually. So a nice wide selection from TPK, and that'll give you a good idea as to where the size of the sugar maple jack is. And a few more for you. We have the QVIS slip joint, and it's not going to be quite that small. This is actually going to allow you to get a good grip on the knife. There we have the drop bear from Kaiser and the Vosteed raccoon. That way you have a good idea of where this knife is sitting. Now, typically here is where we check out the carry method of the knife. And in the case of a slip joint, you're either going to drop it down in your pocket, or you can have some sort of slip or pouch. And as I said at the beginning, traditional pocket knives has a nice selection of different gear, and they make slips as well. I picked this up off the website quite a while ago. Now, what versions do they have of slips and whatnot right now? I'm not quite sure in that department, but they do have custom leather slips that are very, very well done. Like I said, this is a couple years old, and it looks great. Looks worn, but like it's going to hold up for many more years. Now, this knife is easily going to fit in the slip. I got to wipe the blood off my finger. And what's actually really funny about this is traditional pocket knives always sends a goodie bag with the packages, and actually in that goodie bag is a Band-Aid for if and when you cut yourself. And if you fiddle with knives long enough, you are definitely going to do that. And such is life, right? But let me get this done and we'll get back in business. Okay, so we are back in business here. This slip will work perfect. And I believe he has smaller slips as well. But you'll see here, this one's worked in for a large slip joint. I have other small slips that I would carry this knife in. Definitely going to want to carry this one in a slip for my, personal uses. It's not yours till you cut the hell out of yourself with it, right? But this is going to be a nice little gentleman's slip joint, in my opinion, no matter what version you get. More so, for me, the crystallized tie, I think it looks great. And like I said, when we were doing the comparison, this is going to be a good knife that you can get a good grip on. I can still get a full grip on here. I'm getting ready to fall off the end. But if I needed to, which, it's very rare I cut like that or use a knife like that anyway. But in the off chance I did, or you wanted to, you could. But this is slip joints, and this type of design lends itself to be very good for just daily cutting tasks and, more precise cutting, especially opening up certain packages where you have to be careful. You can climb up on the tip and gauge how far you're going into the package. That way you're not cutting things up and so on. These are perfect. Slip joints are perfect for that, especially when they have a lower tip. So we're going to bring out the old arch nemesis here and give this knife a weight check. Now, typically, I will guess, but I'm going to invite you to guess. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think this slip joint weighs? Remember, it's all steel and a titanium inlay, so it's going to have some heft to it. The reason I'm not guessing is because I already saw it on the website. I did some extra research on these and ended up seeing it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Even if you already left a comment, don't worry about it. Put another one down there. It is welcomed. 3.7 is what the website said any which way. And for once, TPK, not for once TPK, but for once a retailer actually can get it right, and TPK is actually on point. The other day we had one that it was the only version of that knife. There wasn't other ones that it could have possibly been, but one knife, one design, and I won't name the retailer, but they were off by like 1.2 ounces. It was very odd. So I don't know if they're just like copying and pasting, but that is why we do the checks that we do, so we can get accurate information. That way, if somebody's looking at a specific knife, they're going to have the proper details on it, other than what just some retailer's website has. Now we'll go ahead and we'll get into a check on the handle here in the blade, and 0.46 there for the handle thickness. We'll go over to millimeters quick, and we're looking at about 11.9 millimeters. We'll go to the blade stock. I shouldn't have switched, and we're at 110 thousandths and 2.79 millimeters. We'll stick on millimeters for this one, and 70.69 behind the edge, and that's coming down there around 26, and I'm pretty high. I'm willing to bet it actually comes down a little bit thinner than that. It's probably about 20 thousandths if I could get a good hold on it. Yeah, 21. Right behind the edge. Coming in at 21. So that's coming down there pretty good. Just below average. The better side of a thinner average, I would say. We see a lot of 22, 23 thousandths. So that is coming in just under average, which is going to be good for a knife like this. Let's see how this cuts out of the box. And for that, we'll use our standard catalog paper here. like I said, this will be great for precision type work and cuts where you really need to be paying attention and precise. This will be great for stuff like that. Slip joints don't really need an explanation. They've been around forever, longer than any of us have been around, and they just continue to work and people continue to enjoy them. And I think what's really cool is, you know, slip joints have been around for decades. We've seen a lot of the similar stuff from companies over the last few decades, and only very recently, you know, we've had a few companies, one of them being TPK, that has really brought some awesome flavor to the traditional world of pocket knives. You will have to let me know, is the Sugar Maple Jack or any of the other slip joints you saw in today's video worthy of picking up and adding to your collection? I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you down in the comments. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. That'll help push this video out there to more people, which will get this knife in front of more eyes. And that is a huge support to not only me, but the retailer, the company, the designer, and family behind this knife. Appreciate all of you, every single one of you. Thank you for watching. If you're new, make sure you subscribe because I release videos like this every day. I'll pop a couple of new ones up for you. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you again for watching. I love you all. I will catch you on the next one.